All right, so you want to dive into the world of Mingo? Let's do it. We're talking ambient, we're talking new age, music that's been described as like nothing you've ever heard before.
Yeah.
But get this, picture this. The guy looks like he should be teaching Sunday school, not, spinning at a rave.
It's funny you say that. That contrast, that's Mingo in a nutshell, defying expectations. You'd think, right, with music that unique, the look would match. But Mingo, he's all about the substance, not the image.
And substance. Oh, there's layers, textures in his music. It draws you in. But where do you even begin to create something like that?
For Mingo, it all started pretty humbly, actually. Modified Casio keyboard, a boombox, that's it, pure DIY, Even back when he was on college radio, a scene that's open to anything, right? His sound still stood out.
He wasn't content to just make the music, though. He co-founds this group, Sonar Productions, early 90s, right in the thick of the American rave scene, which had to be, a bold move at the time.
Oh, absolutely. American rave scene back then, still finding its feet. Huge influence from Europe, obviously, but not quite its own thing yet. This is before electronic music was, mainstream. And Mingo, visually, he didn't exactly scream rave DJ, him being a driving force, statement right there, even before the music started.
And the sound evolved too, right, alongside the scene itself.
Yeah.
He starts with that high energy, that Eurotrance sound, those pulsating beats, synthesized melodies, but then it shifts.
Yeah.
It gets slower, more atmospheric.
Yeah.
People start comparing him to The Orb, Tangerine Dream, those ambient pioneers.
And those are names, even if you're not deep into ambient, you might know. So it shows you the shift. This is less about the dance floor, more about creating a mood, an atmosphere. And that's the Once and Future World. That album captures this perfectly.
Okay, so this album, fascinating, not just the music, but how it came to be. It was inspired by, get this, a sci-fi show.
Yeah, it was, which tells you something about Mingo, right? Inspiration from anywhere. But what's even wilder is the recording. He did the whole thing, the entire album, one 72-hour session.
72 hours straight. That's commitment. But it paid off because years later, the Once and Future World, it gets picked up by the legendary ambient shows, Hearts of Space, Star's End. That's not just airplay. That's the ambient community saying, yeah, this is it.
Huge validation. But then the Blue Star, that album drops and things get really interesting. Mingo starts bringing in instruments you don't hear every day in electronic music. Didgeridoo, that deep, resonant wind instrument from Australia. The shakuhachi, Japanese bamboo flute, almost haunting the sound. And you can hear it, this shift towards something more ancient, more primal even.
So now you got this guy, Mingo.
Yeah.
He's successful, right? Charting, radio play, all that. But still, underground. How does he thread that needle?
Because his success is on his own terms. He's not chasing the mainstream, he's just making the music he wants to make. And his live shows, they reflect that. Art galleries, coffee houses, these intimate settings rather than huge venues. He's curating an experience,
About connecting with the listener on a deeper level.
Yeah.
So someone out there, they're about to go on their Mingo journey. Where should they start?
Wow, that's tough. There are so many good entry points with him. But given what we've talked about, if you're looking for that raw, unfiltered creative burst, I'd say start with the Once and Future World. That 72-hour session, it comes through in the music, this incredible energy.
And if they want to hear those world music influences, the stuff inspired by the petroglyphs and all that.
Then the Blue Star is your album. It's where the ambient meets something older, more primal.
There you have it, Mingo. Not your typical artist by any stretch. Proof that innovation, it often comes from following your own path, no matter how unexpected it might seem.